In the intricate tapestry of human connection, few threads are as complex, as ancient, and as frequently misunderstood as desire. Have you ever considered that the very language of passion might be spoken in a dialect so subtle, so deeply ingrained in our subconscious, that half of humanity is perpetually missing the most profound invitations? We often assume desire is overt, a blazing signal impossible to ignore. Yet for countless men, the nuanced expressions of female lust remain an uncharted ocean, an unspoken conversation happening just beneath the surface of their perception. This journey we embark on today is not merely about decoding signals. It's about delving into the very philosophy of connection, challenging our assumptions, and learning to perceive the unseen, starting with how women truly show lust, signals men totally miss. From a young age, societal narratives, both explicit and implicit, train us to look for certain cues, to expect desire to manifest in particular ways. But what if the canvas upon which female longing is painted is far more intricate, imbued with layers of psychology and a rich history of indirect expression? Philosophically, we are often blind to what we are not prepared to see. Men, conditioned to a more direct, often visual or verbal vocabulary of attraction, frequently overlook the micro-expressions, the subtle energetic shifts, the almost imperceptible invitations that women extend. This isn't a failing of intent, but a fundamental misalignment in the grammar of lust, where one expects a declarative statement and receives a poetic whisper. The challenge lies not in women failing to signal, but in men failing to attune themselves to a different frequency of communication. This chapter is the genesis of our exploration into this unseen language. We're talking about the deep, primal currents of attraction that course through the human experience, often concealed by decorum, fear of vulnerability, or simply a different way of being. Think of it as an iceberg. What's visible above the surface is just a fraction of the immense, powerful mass submerged below. Women, through a complex interplay of evolution, social conditioning, and individual psychology, often express their deepest desires not through direct pursuit, but through an intricate dance of invitation, an energy that invites proximity, engagement, and a deeper gaze. To truly understand this, we must shed preconceived notions and open ourselves to a more profound, empathetic mode of perception, recognizing that the unspoken often holds more truth than the overtly declared. If you're ready to peel back these layers of perception, to truly understand the unspoken dialogues that shape our most intimate connections, and to bridge the chasm of misunderstanding that so often separates us, then join us on this journey. This is merely the first step into a rich, illuminating world. Hit that subscribe button and let's continue this profound exploration together, consciously mastering the landscape of human connection, and finally seeing what has always been there, waiting to be acknowledged. In a world seemingly obsessed with explicit declarations, what if the most potent expressions of desire are not loud shouts, but subtle murmurs, whispered through a language many of us have simply forgotten to hear? We spoke in our last chapter about the pervasive communication gap, the fundamental misalignment in the grammar of lust that leaves so much of female desire in unseen language. Today, we delve deeper into this enigma, exploring how women show lust in ways men often entirely overlook, challenging us to re-examine our very definition of attraction. Psychology reveals that desire, especially in its initial stages, often manifests not as an overt invitation, but as an unconscious broadcast. Think of the lingering gaze that holds for a fraction of a second too long, the soft brush of an arm that feels less accidental than intentional, or the subtle shift in posture that opens a perceived boundary. It's in the mirroring of your gestures, the almost imperceptible tilt of the head, or a sudden captivating intensity in their listening. These aren't theatrics, they are often deeply ingrained, evolutionary cues, amplified or muted by societal conditioning, which historically has not always encouraged women to express desire with unbridled directness. Philosophically, this unseen language beckons us to consider the profound difference between merely looking and truly seeing. Are men perhaps conditioned to expect a more overtly transactional expression of interest, overlooking the delicate art of invitation? Could it be that our modern world, with its cacophony of immediate gratification and surface-level interactions, has dulled our sensitivity to these nuanced signals, these quiet affirmations of primal connection? To truly perceive these cues requires more than just observation. It demands attunement, a deep presence, and an empathetic ability to read beyond the surface, recognizing that genuine desire often presents itself first as an emotional resonance before blossoming into explicit intent. It challenges us to cultivate a deeper awareness, not just of others, but of our own perceptive limitations. Understanding these subtle signals is not about decoding a secret manual. It's about refining our human perception, about learning to appreciate the intricate tapestry of nonverbal communication that underpins all genuine connection. It's about recognizing the quiet power of presence and the art of invitation. To continue this journey into the unspoken dialogues of human connection, subscribe to our channel. Allow us to guide you through these deeper philosophical and psychological currents, empowering you to become a more conscious, reflective participant in the grand dance of human experience. Unlock the unseen languages and begin to truly understand the profound depths within yourself and others. Imagine a language, intricate and ancient, spoken fluently by half the world, yet utterly foreign to the other. We touched in our last chapter on the profound power of empathic attunement, of discerning a subtle emotional resonance that whispers of primal connection. But what happens when these whispers become the very language of desire, expressing a yearning often misunderstood, or worse, entirely overlooked? Many men, conditioned by a world that often prioritizes overt declarations, frequently miss the nuanced symphony of signals through which women express lust. This isn't about crude biological urges. It's about the intricate dance of attraction, the profound yearning for connection and recognition that manifests as a subtle yet powerful invitation. These are not grand gestures, but rather the quiet affirmations of a heightened state, a burgeoning inner flame seeking its mirror. Consider the prolonged gaze, not aggressive, but a lingering, searching look that holds a beat too long, inviting connection deeper than mere politeness. Observe the subtle opening of the body, a shift in posture that unconsciously dissolves barriers, or the gentle, almost imperceptible leaning in, closing the gap in space and perhaps in spirit. Notice the voice, which might soften, deepen, or quicken ever so slightly, carrying an unexpected warmth, a tremor of vulnerability. These are the micro-expressions of an awakened state, the physical echoes of an inner recognition, a profound desire to be seen and met. The tragedy lies in how easily these profound signals are dismissed, interpreted as mere friendliness, politeness, or simply unnoticed amidst the noise of a world demanding loud, unambiguous cues. Men, often taught to look for the explicit, often fail to cultivate the sensitivity required to perceive this deeper, more intuitive form of communication. They miss the subtle shift in energy, the heightened presence, the implicit invitation of a shared smile that travels deeper than the eyes. To understand this language is to peer into the very soul of desire, recognizing it not as a fleeting impulse, but as a complex interplay of vulnerability, trust, and the profound need for authentic communion. This journey into the subtle tapestry of human connection is an ongoing one, a call to cultivate a heightened sense of perception. We invite you to attune your senses, to question your assumptions, and to uncover the rich, unspoken dialogues that shape our most intimate relationships. If these explorations resonate with your own search for deeper understanding, consider subscribing to our channel, joining a community dedicated to unearthing the profound truths hidden within our daily lives. Engage with us, reflect with us, and begin to consciously navigate the intricate landscape of your own inner world. What if the very signals you seek, the very invitations to intimacy, are being broadcast right before your eyes, yet you remained entirely deaf to their symphony? We've explored the profound, often unspoken yearning for connection, a delicate dance of nonverbal cues that paint a woman's desire not as a crude demand, but as a whispered invitation. Yet time and again, these delicate signals are overlooked, mistaken for mere politeness or simply not seen at all. This isn't about crude, overt expressions of physical wanting, but the deep, soulful pull of eros, the life force that yearns for union. How does this profound hunger manifest? It's rarely in a grand theatrical gesture. Instead, it's in the subtle language of the body, a lexicon often steeped in ancient, subconscious wisdom. It's in the way her gaze might linger, not with an aggressive stare, but with a softening, an almost imperceptible invitation to meet her there, in that shared space of unspoken potential. A quick glance, a slight widening of the eyes, then a gentle shift away, only to return. This isn't shyness, but an intricate play of approach and retreat, testing the waters of shared interest. Consider the landscape of her physical presence, the slight tilt of her head, the gentle exposing of her neck, or even a fleeting touch to her own hair. These are not random gestures. They are ancient, instinctual expressions of vulnerability and receptivity, a silent offering of intimacy, a subtle opening of her private world. Observe her body as she speaks. A gentle lean forward, a mirroring of your own posture, a brush of her arm that seems accidental but lingers just a moment too long. These are not coincidences. They are the threads of connection she is subtly weaving, the quiet proposals for deeper engagement. We, as men, are often conditioned to seek the grand declaration, the undeniable overture, mistaking the subtle symphony for mere background noise. We are taught to look for the firework when her desire often manifests as the slow burn, the smoldering ember. This isn't about malice or deliberate ignorance, but a profound disconnect in our understanding of how desire manifests across genders. We are looking for a roar when we should be listening for a whisper. To miss these signals is to miss a facet of our shared humanity, a part of the intricate dance of connection that truly enriches life. It's to remain on the superficial layer when the depths invite us. Perhaps the truest act of understanding isn't in waiting for the obvious, but in cultivating the sensitivity to perceive the profound in the subtle. If this journey into the unspoken language of desire resonates with you, if it stirs a curiosity to understand the hidden currents that shape our connections, then I invite you to join our growing community. Subscribe to this channel, engage with these ideas, and let us together unravel the beautiful complexities of the human heart. Your own inner journey awaits your conscious direction. What if the very definition of lust has been largely misunderstood, especially when it emanates from the feminine? We often envision desire as a roaring fire, overtly declared, impossible to miss. Yet, as we continue our journey into the subtle language of human connection, we uncover a truth far more intricate. For many women, the most profound and intense yearning for intimacy isn't a grand declaration, but a delicate, almost imperceptible broadcast. This is where men, tragically, often become deaf to the symphony of unspoken desire. Building on our previous exploration of profound, unspoken yearning, we arrive at its most potent manifestation. This isn't about crude, overt hunger, but a sophisticated, multi-layered invitation to connection, to profound intimacy, to a shared vulnerability that transcends mere physicality. When a woman experiences this deep form of lust, her body language subtly transforms, speaking volumes without uttering a single word. It's an altered energetic field, a quiet magnetism, almost an opening of her inner world for exploration. Observe the sustained gaze that lingers a fraction of a second too long, not challenging, but inviting. Notice the subtle softening of her features, a relaxed posture that subtly angles towards you, an almost unconscious mirroring of your own movements. It might be a fleeting, intentional touch on your arm that lasts just a breath longer than necessary, or a particular quality in her laughter that feels more intimate, more directed. Her voice might drop slightly in pitch, becoming softer, more resonant when she speaks directly to you. These are not isolated gestures, but threads woven into a rich tapestry of invitation, a silent declaration of profound attraction that seeks a mirroring resonance, not a brute force response. Why then do these potent signals so often go unseen, unheard, unacknowledged? Perhaps it is because society has conditioned many to anticipate a more aggressive, more overtly masculine blueprint for desire. We are taught to look for the grand gesture, the unambiguous sign, rather than to feel the subtle energetic shifts, the nuanced whispers of the soul. Men, often trapped in a paradigm of pursuit, are frequently blind to the profound vulnerability inherent in these feminine expressions of lust, a vulnerability that is not weakness, but a courageous opening. This missed communication leaves both parties in a state of unfulfilled yearning, perpetuating a cycle of misunderstanding that starves the human heart of true connection. The path to understanding begins with observation, with a willingness to shed preconceived notions and truly see the other. This is an invitation to deepen your emotional intelligence, to tune in to the unspoken narratives that shape our interactions. Awaken your awareness to these subtle yet powerful currents of desire, and you will unlock a deeper understanding of human connection. If this journey into the labyrinth of human emotion resonates with you, I urge you to subscribe. Join us as we continue to peel back the layers of perception, allowing you to take conscious control of your own inner journey towards profound understanding. We live in a world that often defines desire with a singular, forceful brushstroke, particularly when we speak of lust. But what if this definition, largely shaped by a masculine lens, blinds us to an entire universe of yearning, especially when it emanates from the feminine spirit? What if the most profound expressions of desire are not loud declarations, but whispers, so subtle, so intertwined with the yearning for profound intimacy that they become almost invisible to those unaccustomed to listening with their soul? The truth is, many men are conditioned to seek overt, unmistakable cues, often missing the very language of a woman's deepest longing. This isn't merely about physical attraction, it's about a sophisticated, magnetic energy, a quiet broadcast of delicate invitations that speak not just of the body, but of the soul's desire for connection. A softened feature, a lingering gaze that holds a universe of unspoken thoughts, a gentle touch that is less an assertion and more an offering. These are not accidental gestures. They are profound signals, often tragically overlooked because our understanding of lust is too narrow, too focused on the immediate and the obvious. Philosophically, this speaks to the eternal human struggle of perception versus reality. We project our own paradigms onto the world, often failing to truly see what stands before us. When a woman's gaze softens, it isn't just a look, it's an invitation to a deeper conversation, a quiet yearning for reciprocal understanding, a tender vulnerability that seeks not to conquer, but to merge. Psychologically, men are often attuned to a different frequency, trained by society to interpret desire through a more direct, sometimes even aggressive lens. This mismatch creates a silent chasm where genuine, profound desire is broadcast yet remains unheard. The feminine expression of lust often embodies a yearning for deep connection, for a soul-to-soul acknowledgement rather than mere physical gratification. It's a desire for the other to see them, not just look at them. To truly understand this intricate dance, we must first unlearn. We must cultivate a different kind of awareness, a sensitivity that allows us to perceive beyond the surface, to recognize the power in the delicate and the profound in the quiet. Only then can we bridge this gap, transforming missed signals into profound connections. If these insights resonate, if you too seek to unravel the intricate tapestry of human connection, consider subscribing. Join us as we continue this journey of self-discovery, challenging assumptions and empowering you to take conscious control of your inner narrative. We often talk about the dance of desire, but what if one partner is speaking in sonnets while the other expects a battle cry? Last time, we touched on the subtle, profound yearning in a woman's gaze, a tender vulnerability that speaks of deep soul-to-soul connection. Yet, this delicate invitation often falls on deaf ears, creating a chasm of unspoken desire. Today, we delve into the heart of this enigma, exploring how women express lust in ways so nuanced, so profoundly understated, that they become signals men totally miss. The truth is, many men are conditioned to perceive desire through a rather direct, almost primal lens. They anticipate overt gestures, explicit verbal cues, or unmistakable physical advances. But feminine lust, more often than not, is an intricate tapestry woven with threads of anticipation, emotional resonance, and a yearning for profound merging. It's not just about the physical culmination, but the journey towards it, a journey often signposted by quiet invitations to intimacy that are tragically overlooked. Consider the prolonged, softened gaze that lingers a fraction longer than polite convention dictates, not as a challenge, but as an open window to the soul. Think of the slight, almost imperceptible tilt of the head, the gentle mirroring of your posture, or the way a woman might unconsciously lean in, reducing the physical space between you, inviting a deeper connection. These are not passive gestures, they are active, albeit subtle, expressions of an inner fire, a desire for closeness that seeks to ignite shared experience. It's in the lowered, almost husky tone of voice during intimate conversation, the sharing of a deeply personal thought, or the fleeting, feather-light brush of a hand that seems accidental but holds a world of unspoken intent. These are the tender whispers of lust, yearning for recognition beyond the superficial. This fundamental disconnect isn't a failure of intention, but often a failure of perception, a philosophical blind spot in how we interpret the language of the heart. We project our own paradigms onto others, missing the richness and complexity of their unique expression. To truly understand, to bridge this chasm, we must cultivate a radical empathy, learning to read the subtle script of vulnerability, to listen beyond words, and to see beyond the obvious. It requires an expansion of our own understanding of what desire truly means, moving beyond mere physical attraction to embrace the soul's profound longing for connection. To truly bridge this chasm of misunderstanding, we must first confront the biases in our own perception. It's a journey of empathy, of learning to hear the unspoken and see the unseen. If you're ready to embark on this profound exploration of connection and consciousness, to redefine what it means to truly understand and be understood, then subscribe now. Let's continue this conversation, illuminating the hidden depths of human interaction and empowering ourselves to take conscious control of our inner journey. In our previous discussion, we explored the deep, often unacknowledged yearning that subtly resides within women, a quiet invitation frequently misunderstood. Today, we delve further into this mystery, posing a crucial question. What if the conventional definition of lust men anticipate from women is fundamentally mistaken? What if, in their pursuit of explicit signals, they are inadvertently overlooking an entire lexicon of desire, expressed through whispers and subtle gestures? While male perception of lust is often framed by direct, primal energy, for many women, desire manifests as a gradual unfolding, deeply intertwined with emotional connection and a sense of safety. It's not about sudden eruption, but an intricate dance of invitation, conveyed through subtle cues like a lingering gaze, an imperceptible lean, or a momentary touch. These are not grand pronouncements, but a quiet choreography of connection. The challenge arises from men's tendency to seek direct validation, often conditioned by society to interpret desire through explicit actions. This causes them to filter out these delicate signals as mere friendliness, creating a profound disconnect where genuine, tender invitations are tragically missed, leaving both parties unfulfilled. The beauty and tragedy of this unspoken language lie in its vulnerability. When these subtle cues go unacknowledged, a woman's quiet yearning can retreat, resulting in missed opportunities and mutual misunderstanding. To truly bridge this chasm requires a conscious shift, an invitation to cultivate deeper sensitivity, to look beyond the obvious and attune ourselves to the nuanced symphony of human desire. It demands a willingness to slow down, observe, and truly see the unspoken invitations that shape our most intimate interactions. This journey into deeper understanding is just one facet of the human experience we aim to explore. If these insights resonate and you find yourself questioning the invisible dynamics of human connection,
I invite you to subscribe. Join us as we continue to unravel the profound mysteries of our inner worlds, guiding you towards a richer, more conscious existence.
What if the language of profound desire, of genuine lust, isn't always overt, but speaks in a quiet register, often entirely missed by those conditioned to listen only for the loud declarations? We've journeyed through the subtle landscape of a woman's quiet, vulnerable yearning for connection, the delicate invitations for closeness that so often fade into the background, unheard. But what happens when that yearning deepens, when emotional connection blossoms into a more primal, yet still nuanced expression of desire, of lust itself? The profound truth is that a woman's lust often manifests not as a sudden, explicit demand, but as a deepening of those very subtle cues, an intensification of vulnerability, a silent invitation that speaks volumes to the attuned observer. Men, often conditioned by media and societal norms to seek overt, almost aggressive signals, tragically miss this intricate symphony. They wait for the unmistakable green light while the woman is offering a whole constellation of stars. Consider the sustained, softened gaze that lingers a moment too long, not just in friendship, but with a palpable current of deeper interest. Think of the almost imperceptible leaning in, the way her body language mirrors yours with an intensity that transcends mere politeness, or the quality of a touch, a brush of the arm, a hand on your knee, that subtly shifts from casual to an almost magnetic presence, an unspoken request to draw nearer. These aren't just signs of connection, they are often the tender fringes of a woman's burgeoning desire, deeply intertwined with her need for intimacy and emotional safety. Psychologically, these are acts of intimate disclosure, a quiet offering of herself, her receptivity, her very being. Philosophically, it echoes the ancient understanding that true power often resides in the unspoken, in the implicit. Her lust is frequently woven into the fabric of her vulnerability, her trust, her willingness to open. It might manifest as a sudden, almost shy revelation of a personal detail, an unguarded laugh, or a deep, sustained listening that makes you feel profoundly seen. These are invitations to step into a space of profound intimacy, where emotional safety becomes the very foundation upon which physical desire can authentically flourish. Men, by seeking the more obvious, often overlook these profound acts of trust, mistaking quietude for disinterest or subtlety for absence. The tragic disconnect we've explored is precisely this: a man waiting for a roar, while the woman is whispering her deepest desires, her lust, in a language he hasn't learned to hear. This profound misunderstanding leaves both parties unfulfilled, perpetuating a cycle of loneliness where genuine connection could have blossomed. It asks us to cultivate not just observation, but a deeper sensitivity, a patient presence, and an intuitive understanding that transcends mere words or explicit gestures. It's about learning to perceive the emotional climate, to read the subtext of human interaction, and to understand that the most powerful desires often emerge from the deepest wells of vulnerability. This journey to understand the unspoken signals of desire, of lust, is ultimately a journey into empathy and self-awareness. It invites us to slow down, to truly listen with more than just our ears, and to see with more than just our eyes. The path to richer, more fulfilling connections begins when we commit to understanding the full spectrum of human expression, especially those delicate whispers of the soul. If this exploration has resonated with you, if it has sparked a desire to deepen your understanding of yourself and others, then I invite you to join our community. Subscribe now to continue this journey of profound self-discovery and to unlock the hidden languages of human connection. Cultivate a deeper presence, attune your senses, and take conscious control of your inner journey, for it is there that true understanding begins.